Hi, I'm Gregg LeFevre, and this is The Compulsive Storyteller, a series of short personal stories that prove the adage that truth can be stranger than fiction. This week's episode is the second of a 4-part series about cops, specifically my altercations with bad cops, corrupt cops, and dumb cops over the years. Part 2 is called Nocturne. As a young man, my friend and I get harassed by some cops looking to interrupt our business venture and our night out with 2 lovely girls. As mentioned in the intro to a Bad Cop episode last season, after the police killed George Floyd, I made a list of all the times that I'd had difficulty with the police. I came up with 36 instances, and I recount another one of them here as a cautionary tale. Had I been a black or brown man, any one of these 36 run-ins could have been fatal for me. Bad Cop, Nocturne. I am 17, spending the summer on Cape Cod, and my best buddy Brian and I have our own do-it-yourself art business in Hyannis, Massachusetts, and we have a problem with the police. We set up our spinner paint booth in an alleyway so that the front counter of the booth is flush with the storefronts on either side of the alley. Brian always has great luck meeting girls. Our business consists of an outdoor booth with a countertop containing 3 sunken tubs, each of which with a centrifuge at its center. We place a blank piece of poster board on the centrifuge, spin it at high speed, and customers pour on different color quick-dry enamels from ketchup squeeze bottles onto the spinner card. Some of the abstractions they create are quite striking. When we first open our business, 2 Hyannis cops pull up and tell us that the booth has to be 25 feet from the curb, which pushes us deep into the alleyway and will kill our business. After they start fishing for a bribe, they get out their tape measure and show us how far back we need to push the booth. My buddy Brian thinks we should work something out with them, but I don't. Brian is a smooth talker and very personable. He sometimes offers customers, select customers who are usually pretty girls, a psychological analysis of their painting. Somehow there's always a sexual angle to his interpretations, which makes for a nice segue for him to invite them and me for drinks by a lovely wooded pond outside of Hyannis. On the evening in question, Brian completes the psychoanalysis of 2 girls' paintings. They're a little older than us and agree to come back after closing time and then join us for drinks by the pond. As we close up and they arrive, so do the 2 cops. Luckily for us, they seem much more interested in the 2 girls than in how far our booth is from the street. After they leave, we drive to the pond with the girls and begin our evening together by downing a couple bottles of wine. Brian then coaxes them out of their clothes and into the pond to skinny dip. Our laughter and playful splashing echoes throughout the quiet of the surrounding darkened woods. A thin layer of mist begins to gather close to the water. After our swim, we split up into 2 couples and lay down still naked on some beach towels that Brian has brought along. Just as we start to make out, a police cruiser with its lights off quietly pulls up across the pond, then suddenly turns on its headlights in a powerful spotlight aimed directly at us. The fog on the surface of the pond seems to amplify the harsh glare of their lights. "What should we do?" one of the girls worriedly whispers because she doesn't want to stand up naked and expose herself. "Just don't move and stay down," I say softly. "Let's just wait them out." We can't see into the car and have no idea what's going on. The minutes tick by, and it seems like a complete standoff. We all share the feeling of being completely vulnerable and helpless as the girl's anxiety begins to grow. We're still wet and now shivering while we whisper back and forth. Then, as quickly as they appeared, they turn off their lights and slowly back up and are gone. As we put on our clothes, one of the girls says, "Wow, that was totally creepy." "I couldn't agree more," says Brian, as he realizes that any chance of romance has gone up in smoke, just like the fog rising off the surface of the pond. After we drop off the girls at their place, Brian says to me, "So what have we learned here tonight, Gregg?" Then, still a little drunk, he answers his own question. If you want to make a success of a new business, you should probably pay off the cops when they try to shake you down. Also, if you take a couple girls in skinny dipping, make sure you haven't been followed by the cops. I respond with a chuckle, "Yes, Brian, thanks for your sage advice." The Compulsive Storyteller is written and narrated by me, Gregg LeFevre, and co-produced with Peter Kokoma, who's also made our theme song. If you enjoyed this week's episode, we'd love your help sharing the show. Please subscribe to The Compulsive Storyteller for free on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen. And also, if you could leave a review, that would be fantastic. Follow the show on Instagram, @TheCompulsiveStoryteller, and check out our website for more information at thecompulsivestoryteller.com. Thanks for listening, and if you don't like this one, the next one will be another story.